There's a couple different things we'll talk about, but the first one, man, is this Florida State lawsuit
Hmm.
against Leonard Hamilton. Um, I'll just run through the details and we can kind of go through it a little bit. So there's six former Florida State players that are suing him for basically him promising NIL payments, whatever, and never did. Um, 250K each. Can y'all
Mm.
imagine if we got 250K in college?
Mm.
Apparently, it went so far to where these players even walked out of practice before a Duke game. Um, Walked out of practice, said we weren't playing, and then Leonard Hamilton, apparently, according to reports or whatever, basically said, "No, I got it. We'll pay you. We'll get the money to your account, whatever." So they ended up playing,
This was last
finishing the
year.
whole. This was last year.
Gotcha.
Um, Finished the whole season. And now I think there's maybe two guys that their eligibility is done, so they're done with college basketball. I think everybody else is transferred to a different school. Um, and so yeah, so I think what we need to break down a little bit is kind of what are some changes. I think me personally, and me and Cam were talking about this before the show a little bit. I think this is going to be like one of those like make an example out of
Yeah.
situations. And hopefully it's one that brings like some change to the whole NIL situation, regulations, having more paperwork,
Yeah.
and things like that. But what are y'all's thoughts on this
Uh,
situation?
First thing I would say, y'all asses was 17 and 16 last year, so y'all asses terrible. Uh, but all that to be said, you have to do your due diligence when it comes to money. Got to have a contract. Has to be written down. Has to be signed by both parties. If you say you was gonna pay the kids, you got to pay them, no matter what their record is. Uh, it's definitely gonna just be setting an example. This has probably happened multiple times. You know what I'm saying? They just got to figure out a way to get the money to them, but it's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going there, and regardless of what has happened, you might be living according to what you're thinking you're going to get paid, and that's just there. It's not smart to do.
That's a lesson.
That's a lesson. That it might not be smart to do, but they're doing it. But you're expecting that money. But at the end of the day, if nothing's written down,
I don't owe you nothing, Jack.
you winning games. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just like when we were younger. When I played in AAU, I played with CP3. We were Jordan brand. Like we could get any shoe pretty much we wanted. But if we didn't win, and they told, oh, y'all can get whatever shoe you want. But if we ain't win, did you think they were giving us shoes? Hell no. They look at us like we had 10 heads. You know what I'm saying? So like that goes into account. But at the end of the day, it's just a lesson. You got to get it signed. You got to have a legit contract. Every kid that's getting paid, you need to have a financial advisor or you need a lawyer or something that can help you get something written where you know you can get your bread. If you ain't signed nothing, he don't got to pay you nothing.
Well, with that coming out, that hurts. That hurts him. That hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely hurts
It hurts the program for sure. So I don't know. He needs to find a way to make it right and make it right publicly, because it's going to be hard for him to get some recruits. That's going to be very hard, because that's what these kids are looking for. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
They ain't looking for, oh, where's the best fit for me? Where's the best place for me to go to play?
Bag at.
Who going to give me the most money?
And it's already tough at Florida State. It's not the best basketball school.
No, because, the football players getting all the bread.
They're getting all the bread.
Yeah.
I mean, they
For now.
and we played against Florida State. Was Florida State good when you were there?
Yeah.
Florida State was good while we were there.
Yeah, that was good.
And the thing is, they still wasn't really supporting the team like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we still went there, empty seats. We still got,
or we just
our
had more fans
or we
than they
just
did.
had more fans there, and they had
I
a
think that's
top
what it
10
was.
team. So they have to be great in what they are saying they're not doing right now. This hurts them
Yeah, it
big
hurts.
time.
That hurts.
I will say the only thing is, and this is why I think the NCAA could use this as that example.
Keep going.
This is his last year on his deal. Like this is his
Okay.
last year on his contract. So yeah, it takes a hit for him. I mean, I want to say when I looked, he was 76 years old, something like that. Um, but if I'm him, it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let me try to make good on this. But like you said, if it was a coach staying there and trying to get recruits to come to Florida State, then it's like, man, I really got to try to do something. For him, it's like, you don't have any proof. Like, if that's the route you want to take, then we'll figure this out. But I thought it was interesting because as I looked at it, it's only the second. We've seen a bunch of things in the headlines of like, somebody saying they weren't paid a certain amount or whatever, but it's the only second one that has gone to like legal action, which I thought was interesting, which I think is if things aren't changed, I think you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of them. And I think you're going to start seeing like NCAA starting to get involved and things like that, which would not be good in my opinion. I just think like Theo said, it's like I don't understand how you can do anything without a contract, right? And then not only without a contract, but like a detailed contract. Like, hey, for instance, Louisville went winless in I think it was 2 years ago in conference play. It's like, hey, you have to win 10 games in your conference play for this incentive to kick in or things like that. To just say, hey, you get $250,000 to come to this school, that person could go and get hurt the first year or not be very good and not play. And it's like, okay, well, we still got to pay this guy who's not giving anything to our program. Um, so I just think there's some. I've always been a big proponent of the NIL stuff as far as players getting paid. But I do think there's got to be some sort of regulation or some sort of just contract agreement so that you don't see more of these kind of in the headlines and causing issues for other schools and things like that. Because now you're going to have the guys who aren't playing, who had an agreement to get paid a certain amount. Maybe they're not getting paid. Now they're going to see this kind of in the headlines and go into a legal battle, and now they're going to be all of a sudden aggressive and trying to pursue some sort of um, lawsuit or go at the school. So I think there's got to be some changes. It can't just be the wild wild west, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah. Do we would we like to see like some actual laws put in place for this? And also, do we think there should be a salary cap in college for how much each team should be paying players as the total?
So I'm definitely down for the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say salary cap. Definitely, Justin, you hit on top of like they are professional, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's tough because they still got to juggle school and all that stuff. So it's harder to be kind of sticklers about certain things. Be like, all right, you got to average this 20 points or 15 points. Like, that's tough. But if you asking for that type of money, I guess it's really not. I mean, if you want to get treated like a professional, you got to perform like one. So I guess that goes into it also. I mean, it's a tough conversation because you want to treat them like professionals, but they're not.
Still kids.
They're still kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got an 18-year-old coming into college, ain't never played one college game in his life. And he's like, yeah, I need 1.5. Okay, cool. I need you to average 20. Ain't happening. Very rare. That's a very rare guy. That's the Zions and the Jabari Parkers, the Marvin Bagleys. Like, those are those guys of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's tough. What you think, Ray? You think a salary cap?
And if so, what do y'all think the salary cap should be?
I think the cap should be no more than a meal ticket.
Like for the whole team?
Hmm?
For the whole team?
No, just per person. Like, nobody can get no more than $1 million. Like what AJ got, and they only going to have him for 4 months.
Yeah.
That man ain't thinking about no class. He ain't thinking about no classroom. He ain't thinking about none of that. That man literally just going there to play basketball for 1 year so he can go to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, that's $7 million. Like, come on.
I think what he got should be the cap for the whole team.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
like 7 to 10. Yeah.
This is my thing. Let's think about college basketball. Justin, Ray, how many good players? How many nice that are worth that are worth $1 million are on a team? Realistically.
Like
Worth
each
$1 million.
team?
Yeah, each team. Each college basketball
I mean,
you might get
one, maybe two, honestly.
Yeah. And you talking about a $7 million cap? Man, hell no.
Yeah, 7 mil for the whole team. That's because that means basically your 12th player is making at least 200.
200.
And I don't. That's a lot.
No. Hell no. It can't have. I say that. I say it. Maybe not.
I'm just saying no more than $1 million for anybody. I don't care if it's Cooper Flag.
No, I'm saying
no more than $1 million ticket.
The whole team's $7 million. Like they can't.
But
go.
he's saying it should be individual based.
Yeah,
So
it's individual.
individual based. And each player, you can make $1 million.
Like if
You're a top guy and you're a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, we can get you $1 million for sure.
Yeah.
Got you.
Now, if you get 5 top guys,
You
$5 million.
You got to come out that.
You got to come out the paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it comes down
But
to.
if you got to do that just over there clapping and just swinging the flag,
Come on, bro.
No.
towel in the air, he got to get 50,000.
Yeah. I think
no. That'll piss me off.
He said
he should have.
Piss me off. Oh,
He
hell
said
no.
I mean, he's still practicing, bro. He's still practicing. He's still
50K?
50K.
Hey, listen, I ain't had that.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's something
I'll
though.
take it. I'll take
had
it.
50K.
I'm telling you right now.
You won the championship, boy. You better stop. But we ain't gonna talk about that on air.
I didn't have
Hey,
50K, bro.